In today's video, we're going to talk to you about the importance of water and the epic fail that we just had.
Hey guys, if you're new to this channel, we're two rebels off grid, and we are finally almost this far from actually being off grid. So follow along this video and hope you enjoy it.
So we had another epic fail. Fortunately, this one wasn't really our fault. It wasn't really anybody's fault, but we have this big gigantic wash, right? It is huge, and it's coming in to our neighborhood. It goes down, crosses the road that we need to go up to get to our property. So our road itself is totally fine, and this wash actually crosses the very bottom of our property in some spots. So what happened, this wash, we've been waiting, and I think we've been telling you guys, we've been waiting to get out of the RV park that we're staying at and get out onto the property so we can really start going to town on our development of our off-grid homestead land and really get cracking. So we've been frustrated because this road has been washed out for at least a month, and it's really kept us from getting out there because we couldn't get our trailer out there. So anyway, the organization that's in charge of fixing that road did get it fixed. They had a contractor come out with a big bulldozer and did a bunch of earth movement, and we thought it was fixed. We were good getting over it. It was all good, right? So we were excited because that meant that we could go ahead and order our cisterns to be filled with a water truck, and that water truck was coming out last week to fill the cisterns, or the week before, maybe it was a couple weeks ago. But anyway, the water truck came out, and you know, like we talked about, or like we're going to talk about, 3,000 gallons of water is pretty heavy. So the water truck that was coming out got stuck in this big gigantic wash that we have and couldn't get through, actually ended up damaging his truck and had to be towed out. So needless to say, the water didn't make it to our property and to our lots and into our cisterns. So we weren't able to get those filled up. So that was a big fail because we can't be moving out there in our RV until we have a water source.
Seems to be the story of our lives lately. Washes and things getting stuck. We had our tractor guy get stuck in one wash, and then that had all the police from this entire area come show up and think he was a terrorist and all that good stuff. And then we had our water truck get stuck. So the rumors are probably spread around. We probably have the shroud upon us that we're nobody's going to deliver to us because they think they're going to get stuck, right? So so we've been going to plan B, right? We've been tinkering around with that plan B, which is alternative means of water.
Yeah. So we did reach out to a local, very well-known, very respected well drilling company, and they came out and gave us some initial prices, and now we got to decide if we want to go ahead and move forward with that.
Yeah, so we had a chit chat with the guy, and it'll probably be another video if we follow through with that, talking about drilling a well, right? To us, we wanted not to do that. We didn't put it in our budget, and it's a huge item to put on a budget. It would take up a big percentage of our income, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, of the money that we're working off of. It's a big chunk of change. So we got to talk about it. We got to pray about it. We would love your guys' input on it. And we're really disappointed, but at the same time, maybe there's a reason why it's been so difficult for us to get water out there. And maybe we do need to look at that plan B seriously.
Yeah, and in the meantime, just to let you know, this is officially our last night staying at this RV park. We are hooking this bad boy up, and for the last time, hopefully, and gonna make that journey ourselves across the wash of doom and try to get it. I think if I just go fast enough and I skid it sideways enough and whip the RV around the corner, we might be able to flip it on over the hill. But you saw the pictures. That's what we got to get this thing through. But we're gonna pray that Mr. Toyota FJ has some dynamic powers behind that motor and those wheels and gets us through. Because if that happens, it's going to be a game changer. We're definitely going to be out there. The RV will never be able to come back out again, probably. It's a one-way journey.
It'll be there permanently, maybe.
It's a one-way journey.
Yeah, 30 years from now, we'll have that old RV in our...
Yep, and a rusted FJ in the driveway.
Maybe, could happen, but we're definitely hopeful. We are prepared. We're not just going to hook the trailer up and we're not doing what Doug said. There is some planning to it. We do have some shovels ready, some sandboards ready, and we have a plan. I think it'll work out fine. I think it's just going to be a little stressful for a few minutes, but...
Expecting the worst and hoping for the best.
Yeah. So we had a suggestion from one of our followers, Backcountry Preps, and we just want to give him a huge shout out and a huge thank you for pointing this out. So he is actually a plumber, and he suggested that this piece right here and this piece right here be replaced with something a little bit different. So he said we should be using a female brass hose bib instead of the male one that we had used, and that would be a lot better and hold up a lot better in these elements. So here we are at the cisterns, and we're kind of bummed right now because we don't have our water collection devices set up yet. Most people call them rain rivs or water collection rivs or tarps or whatever you're going to be using. The reason why we're bummed is because we don't have a way to fill these cisterns at this moment in time. And we really want to move out here onto this property so that we can start getting more stuff done. It's been a lot of going back and forth, and we always feel like we never really get a good full day of work in, except occasionally because of usually the weather lately. Today it's really cloudy and it looks like maybe it might rain, but the last maybe 4 or 5 days have actually been really dry and nice and clear, and yesterday was really overcast, so it was really nice for working. But anyway, back to water. So anybody that has homesteaded or is thinking about homesteading or is currently homesteading knows that water is your absolutely number one top priority, especially when you're living in the high desert of southeast Arizona. So we knew that. We also knew that we had some options. We were planning on collecting rainwater. We're unfortunately now, because of the situation with the water truck getting stuck, and we don't really see that wash that we showed you is going to be getting fixed permanently anytime soon. So we know that any heavy trucks that come back here loaded down with water, which is what I think it's 8 pounds a gallon, and we're looking at filling almost 3,100 gallons of water in these 2 cisterns. So that's not going to happen. So we're letting that go. It's really kind of a bummer, and we're really kind of sad about that, because what that means is we're going to have to find an alternative. So our alternatives, we've got a few. So 3 of our alternatives are from really nice neighbors that have offered to let us use our IBC tote, which is actually right there covered. You will notice we got a cover for it to protect it from the sun and the wind, mostly the sun. But we have 3 neighbors that have offered to let us fill that up at their well and then cart it down here, and then we can buy a pump and then pump that water into the cisterns. The IBC tote holds 275 gallons. However, our trailer that we bought at Tractor Supply, because it was a bargain, where'd it go? It's peeking up over there. That thing we can only load it up with about half of the IBC tote full. So if you do the math on, I don't know, 150, 175 gallons of water going back and forth and filling these up, it's going to take us a while, but we're willing to do that, and that is definitely an option. Now, the other option that we have, and we didn't want to go here, but the more we think about it, it might be wise, is to have a well dug. So those can get very, very expensive. In Arizona, it's usually anywhere from 40 to 60 a foot to dig a well, and we have no guarantee that we'll hit water. We have neighbors up over that away that hit water at 50, 60 feet. We have neighbors down that away that didn't hit anything at 1,000 feet. So we're on a budget, as you all know, and we have to decide if we're willing to take a risk and try digging a well. It could cost us, we figure, probably a minimum of 15 to 20,000. So anyway, we're working through that this week and trying to make peace with it and make that decision. So it's either haul water in bits and pieces from the neighbors until we can get our rain collection in place, or go ahead and dig a well. And then the good thing about having a well is that we would have redundancy with water, which everybody knows it's a good thing to do. So we have some thinking to do. We would love your input. We've had a lot of feedback from people that feel very strongly one way or another, but we'd love to hear what you guys think about that. All right, thanks for coming along. Yeah.
But until next video, guys, I guess this concludes this short video.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in and sticking around. We'll see you soon.
All right, bye.